President Obama is in part blaming Fox News for the massive losses suffered by Democrats in recent elections. Our channel has been talked about quite a lot by President Obama over the last 7.5 years. Fox News media analyst and host of Fox's Media Buzz, Howard Kurtz, has a look at what exactly the president said and what it may tell us.
President Obama took a parting swipe at Fox News, lamenting why white working-class voters turned out heavily for Donald Trump. He told a sympathetic publisher, Rolling Stone's Jan Wenner, part of it is Fox News in every bar and restaurant in big chunks of the country, but part of it is also Democrats not working at a grassroots level. The president has the world's biggest bully pulpit, but for 8 years he's portrayed Fox as all but drowning him out.
First of all, I've got one television that is entirely devoted to attacking my administration. I mean, you know, that's a pretty...
I assume you're talking about Fox.
Well, that's a pretty big megaphone.
That view, promoted by former communications director Anita Dunn, who once told me Fox was a wing of the Republican Party, made no distinction between the network's news and opinion programming. Her boss often invoked Fox in defending Obamacare.
If you talk to somebody who said, well, I don't know, I was watching Fox News and they said this horrible. While good, affordable health care might seem like a fanged threat to the freedom of the American people on Fox News, it turns out it's working pretty well in the real world.
You mentioned President Obama. Rolling Stone's interview. He says this: there is a cohort of working-class white voters that voted for me in sizable numbers, but that we've had trouble getting to vote for Democrats in midterm elections. In this election, they turned out in huge numbers for Trump. And I think that part of it has to do with our inability, our failure to reach those voters effectively. Part of it is Fox News in every bar and restaurant in big chunks of the country. And part of it is also the Democrats are not working at the grassroots level, being in there, showing up, making arguments. That part of the critique of the Democratic Party is accurate. Jason, I mean, we've heard that it's the messaging, and you weren't there in Wisconsin, Hillary Clinton. But Fox News is a common thread for this president for 7.5 years.
Exactly. This goes back to Anita Dunn. This goes back to David Axelrod. Fox isn't a legitimate news organization. Sure. But the second part of that sounds like Obama hasn't been president for the past 8 years. How can a man go and complain about middle America clinging to their guns and their Bibles and then say, but my party hasn't done a good job of reaching out to these rural voters? Maybe they've been taking their cues from him for the past 8 years.
We've seen this evolution, Mara, of him explaining this election. This is the latest in this Rolling Stones interview.
Everything he said, except for the part about Fox News, was pretty correct. I mean, he was pretty critical of his own party, and then he threw that kind of whiny aside in there.
But he always says it's the messaging, not the policy.
Well, you know what?
I mean, some part is the policy.
Barack Obama won twice, and he won in a lot of these districts, as Jason just said. But we've now had 3 elections in the Obama era without Obama on the top of the ballot, at all, where they can't turn out their voters.
I know, but 2/3 of the state legislatures are Republican. 34 governors are Republican.
Deep hole.
The Senate and the House is Republican.
And almost 7 in 10 people routinely say the country's going in the wrong direction. Wages have basically been flat since 1999. And yet this president, for all of his kind of, no drama Obama, comes out and in a very infantile manner blames cable news, and I'm surprised he didn't mention talk radio, my field, because that's what he usually does, without any sense of personal responsibility. So they say Trump can be immature at times. What was that? And he goes over to Europe and he says, well, I'm actually very popular. Look at the polls. Like, my policies are actually very popular. You just got shellacked. Your party just got shellacked. At least do what Bill Clinton did and say, that was a drubbing. We really took it.
I mean, we are number one, Jonah, but he thinks we control the universe.
I don't mean to be pedantic about this, but just as a matter of fact, it is just not true that every bar and restaurant in this country is running Fox News.
How about every airport? We'd like to get in the airports.
And also,
speaking of that, airports, listen up.
Yeah.
Fox News, that's where you need to go.
What was the last bar or restaurant that Barack Obama went to that had Fox News blaring? I mean, I really want to know. But it's classic Obama, where it's, of course, the only reason I'm not fully succeeding is because there are people being deluded and being fooled, and they don't believe their lying eyes, and instead they're being sort of ensorcelled by Fox News. And this has sort of been his shtick for a very long time. And it's not true that his policies are all that popular. Obamacare, which is his signature policy, has never been popular.